You've probably heard things like, creatine is bad for your kidneys, or it's just water weight. Spoiler, that's nonsense. And believing it might be stopping you from gaining more strength and muscle. In this video, we're busting the most common creatine myths. Straight to the point, backed by science, no fluff. If you train seriously, you need to know the facts. Want to know what really works? Then stick around because the truth might change your results for good. Let's dive in. If what you've seen here already helped you in some way, just imagine having it all organized step by step, with practical tips to use in your daily routine. I've put together a resource with real care for those who truly want to improve their health in a simple, effective way. Take a look when you get the chance. The link's right below. Let's address the elephant in the room, the myth that creatine is dangerous. Listen, I get it. You might have heard horror stories from your friend's cousin's gym buddy or even a misinformed school nurse back in the day. But here's the truth. Creatine monohydrate, the most common form, has been studied extensively, and when taken responsibly, it's safe for most healthy adults. We're talking about a naturally occurring substance found in red meat and even produced by our own bodies. Years of research have shown that a standard dose of 5 grams per day is well tolerated and doesn't cause kidney or liver damage in healthy individuals. Of course, like any supplement, it's essential to talk to your doctor, especially if you have pre-existing health conditions or are taking medications. But don't let unfounded fears hold you back from exploring the potential benefits of creatine. Remember, we're all about making informed decisions here, and the science just doesn't support the claim that creatine is inherently dangerous. So, let's put that myth to rest and move on to the good stuff. How creatine can actually help you level up your fitness game. Okay, let's talk about why people take creatine in the first place. The performance benefits. In a nutshell, creatine helps your muscles produce more ATP, which is like the primary energy currency of your cells. Think of it as giving your muscles a little extra juice to power through those tough workouts. What does that mean in practical terms? Well, studies have shown that creatine supplementation can lead to significant improvements in high-intensity exercise performance. We're talking about being able to squeeze out a few extra reps, lift a bit heavier, and sprint a little faster. Over time, these small gains can add up to serious progress, helping you build more muscle and strength. Creatine can also help you recover faster between sets, meaning you can push yourself harder and make the most of each training session. Now, don't get me wrong, creatine isn't a magic pill. It won't turn you into Arnold Schwarzenegger overnight. But when combined with a solid training program and proper nutrition, it can be a valuable tool to help you reach your fitness goals faster. So, if creatine is safe and effective, why all the myths and misinformation? Well, it's a combination of factors. First, we've got the blind leading the blind scenario. Misinformed coaches, trainers, or even healthcare professionals who haven't stayed up to date on the research might spread outdated or inaccurate information. Then there's the supplement industry itself, which, let's be honest, can be a bit of a Wild West sometimes. You've got companies making exaggerated claims and using fear-mongering tactics to sell their products. It's all about the bottom line, right? But here's the thing. You don't need to fall prey to hype or fear tactics. Stick to reputable sources of information like scientific studies and evidence-based health professionals. Don't believe everything you read on a supplement label or hear from someone trying to sell you something. Remember, knowledge is power. The more you understand about creatine, the better equipped you'll be to make informed decisions about your health and fitness. Walk into any supplement store, and you'll be bombarded with a dizzying array of creatine products. Creatine ethyl ester, creatine hydrochloride, buffered creatine, the list goes on and on. It can feel like you need a PhD in chemistry just to choose the right one. But here's the truth. The most studied, safest, and most effective form of creatine is plain old creatine monohydrate. It's been around for decades, and countless studies have proven its benefits. Those fancy-sounding alternatives, they're often more expensive and may not even be absorbed as well by your body. Some might claim to have fewer side effects, but again, the evidence just doesn't support those claims. So save your money and stick with the tried-and-true creatine monohydrate. It's the gold standard for a reason. Now let's talk dosage. The standard recommended dose of creatine is 5 grams per day taken consistently. You might have heard of something called loading, where you take a higher dose, around 20 grams per day for the first week to saturate your muscles faster. While loading can be effective, it's not strictly necessary. You'll still experience the benefits of creatine by taking a consistent 5 grams per day, even without loading. Plus, loading can sometimes lead to bloating or digestive discomfort in some people, so it's not always the most comfortable approach. My advice? Keep it simple. Start with 5 grams per day, see how your body responds, and adjust if needed. Consistency is key here. You might have heard that you absolutely have to take creatine at a specific time. Before a workout, after a workout with a meal on a full moon. You get the idea. Here's the reality. While there's some evidence that taking creatine post-workout with carbohydrates might slightly enhance its uptake, timing isn't as crucial as some people make it out to be. The most important factor is consistency. Find a time that works for you, whether it's first thing in the morning with lunch or before bed, and stick to it. Make it a habit, just like brushing your teeth. Don't stress about trying to perfectly time your creatine intake. As long as you're taking it daily, you're good to go. Hold on to your hats, folks, because creatine isn't just for gym rats and athletes. Emerging research suggests that creatine might offer a range of health benefits that extend beyond muscle and performance. For starters, there's evidence that creatine could have neuroprotective effects, meaning it might help protect your brain from age-related decline and cognitive impairment. Some studies even suggest it could play a role in supporting mental health. Additionally, creatine may have cardioprotective benefits, potentially improving heart health and reducing the risk of heart disease. And if that's not enough, it might even support bone health and reduce the risk of osteoporosis. Now let's address the elephant in the room, the persistent myth that creatine damages your kidneys. This misconception stems from confusing creatine with creatinine, a waste product filtered by your kidneys. Let me be clear. Creatine supplementation, at recommended doses, does not damage the kidneys in healthy individuals. Numerous studies have debunked this myth, so you can rest assured that your kidneys are safe. Another common question I get is whether or not you need to cycle creatine, meaning taking breaks from it periodically. The thinking behind cycling is that continuous use might somehow down-regulate your body's natural creatine production. However, the scientific evidence to support this claim is weak at best. Studies have shown that long-term creatine use is safe and effective, and there's no strong evidence that it shuts down your body's natural production. That being said, some people choose to cycle creatine for personal reasons. For example, you might take a break during a deload week or a vacation to save money, as creatine can be a recurring expense. Ultimately, the decision of whether or not to cycle creatine is a personal one. There's no right or wrong answer, and it's really a matter of preference. Let's talk about the C word. No, not that C word, but one that can be equally concerning for some: bloating. It's true that creatine can cause water retention, but it's crucial to understand that it's primarily intramuscular water retention. What does that mean? It means the water is drawn into your muscle cells, making them appear fuller and more pumped, not necessarily causing subcutaneous bloating, which is the type that makes you feel puffy and bloated. In fact, many people find that creatine makes them look more muscular and defined, not bloated. However, if you're a competitive athlete who needs to make weight or is concerned about your appearance for a specific event, you might consider temporarily discontinuing creatine a few weeks out. But for the average person, water weight from creatine is generally not a major concern and can even be seen as a positive thing, as it can contribute to that desirable muscular look. Now, let's address a common concern: stomach issues. While creatine is generally well tolerated, some people might experience mild stomach discomfort, especially when first starting out. If this happens to you, don't panic. It could be due to a few factors, like taking creatine on an empty stomach, using a low-quality supplement, or even an ingredient in your pre-workout formula. Try taking your creatine with food, experimenting with different brands or types of creatine. Remember, monohydrate is king. Or adjusting your supplement stack. If the issue persists, definitely talk to your doctor. Finally, let's talk about whether creatine is right for everyone. If you're a complete beginner to exercise, you probably don't need to rush into creatine supplementation. Focus on building a solid foundation with your training and nutrition first. However, if you're an intermediate or advanced lifter, or participate in sports that require short bursts of intense effort, Creatine can be a game changer. It can help you break through plateaus, improve performance, and achieve your fitness goals faster. Remember, knowledge is power. I always say, don't be afraid of what you don't know. Be afraid of what you think you know that just ain't so. Arm yourself with the facts, make informed decisions, and keep crushing it in the gym. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more science-backed fitness tips. Remember, knowledge is power when it comes to your health and fitness. Don't let myths and misinformation hold you back from reaching your full potential. Stay curious, stay informed, and keep pushing those limits. Now go out there and crush your workouts.